Alright, so the crazy madness that is E3 is still continuing to roll along, so let's talk about more games that I got to see. So I was lucky enough to get a behind closed doors presentation of Dead Island 2, which is still very early in the works, and it was very apparent with what they showed. What I mostly got was just an informative PowerPoint type of thing, kind of talking about what they want to go with Dead Island 2, and they're kind of taking it in a little bit of a different direction because it's a different developer. It's Jaeger, the team who made Spec Ops: The Line, which is a big deal because that game was incredible. So they didn't have too much to really show in terms of gameplay, but they did have a lot of ideas with how zombies are working, different elements of combat, how they're not trying to go as over the top as Dead Island Riptide seemed to be. It's still going to be light and crazy and fun, but just like a little more controlled. Now there's going to be motorized weapons that attract zombies, but they're really powerful and you need to collect gas and stuff like that. There's a better focus on guns because Jaeger is a developer who works with shooters, so the shooting seemed to hopefully be more on point this time around. And the setting is the biggest difference. California, Los Angeles, I'm here right now actually. Of course, Dead Island's whole thing is focusing on like the paradise, but like, and then zombies come. But what I did get to see of the game, weirdly enough, was a prototype from 2013. So the stuff I got to see was relatively old. It was kind of a combat prototype, and the combat is a lot different than Dead Island 1, and it looks really good from what I've seen. Now when zombies grab you, you have different options of what you want to do with them when they're up in your face. You can beat it over the head with your weapon, you can push it away, you can do all different things. One thing I saw that I really liked was a special move with the sledgehammer where you stun a zombie with like a kick, and then you like uppercut with a weapon and the zombie goes flying in the air. It's ridiculous, but it's really cool. And when they were showing it, they were goofing around and like seeing how far they could knock zombies. And it just looks like a lot of fun. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first Dead Island because maybe I had like weird expectations for it. But now that my expectations, like now I know what Dead Island is, Dead Island 2 seems like a major improvement on the first one, which I thought was very messy. But like I said, things are still pretty early, so there's not too much to go on. But what I can tell you about is The Witcher 3. I got to see almost an hour of Witcher 3 gameplay, and I gotta say, it's pretty fucking awesome. The thing that really blew me away was just how big the world is. Combat and stuff feels very much Witcher 2 with, you know, improved crafting and much better dodging. But the one thing that I really just noticed was how big the world was. Like, they paused it and scrolled to where they needed to go, and I just saw the entire world map, and it was absolutely huge. Not to mention, it looks gorgeous. It's one of the better games, environmentally, one of the better looking games I've seen in a really long time. I got to see a good variety of environments. I got to see like these marshlands where there were like all different kinds of creatures, swamp creatures and stuff that Geralt had to fight. And then I got to look at a ride on horseback through the biggest city in the game, which was absolutely incredible. All the citizens in the city do different things. Some work, some go home. The time of day changes and different things happen around the city. You know, that kind of cool dynamic stuff that, you know, we enjoy in open world games. The Witcher seems to really be doing it right. But I gotta say, The Witcher seems incredibly impressive. The combat looks great. It looks like it's just as challenging as The Witcher 2. And like I said, dodging is really important. Now you can kind of like spin dodge around someone. It's not just relying on backing up and moving away from the fight, which is a little frustrating. But now, things seem to make a little more sense. One thing that annoyed me though is that the camera still seems pretty messy. A lot of times I would see Geralt get hit by enemies not on screen during the demonstration because the camera, you know, you're like fighting with the camera to see everything and you're surrounded by enemies sometimes. So it was like, that kind of stuff can be overlooked sometimes. But seriously, The Witcher 3 definitely seems to be living up to that like holy shit level of hype that has been generated through previews and the like. I was happy I got to spend a good hour just looking at the game, and I'm really pumped to play it. It comes out February 25th, and I'm sold. And if you haven't played The Witcher 2, what are you doing? Go, it's cheap on PC if your PC can run it. It's on Xbox 360. It's a really great game, and you should check it out. But this concludes another E3 video of impressions and stuff that I've been seeing so many games, and I'm like losing my mind. Unfortunately, I can't see everything, and I can't cover everything, but I'm gonna do the best I can, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and like I say, thanks so much for watching and basically getting me here. But let me know in the comments anything you want to know about The Witcher and Dead Island 2. I'm here, I'm all yours. Like I said, there's not a lot to say about Dead Island 2, but anything you guys want to ask me, go ahead. Let's talk about these games. But that's it, guys. As always, of course, I'm Jake Baldino. You can like me on Facebook, you can yell at me on Twitter, and you can subscribe because video games.